an honor to be able to play a game against a program like Kansas. And I know it was big for these guys. I know it was big for me, and I know it was big for the Oregon State community. So we want to thank Coach Self and his staff for setting this game up. We really were able to kind of test ourselves against the best in the country, one of the best in the country. If you want to beat a team like Kansas, you can't miss as many foul shots as we did, and you can't miss as many easy shots around the basket as we did. But having said that, you know, I gotta love the effort that my team put forth, going down 14 and then going down again 10 or 11 or something, coming back to be within 3 with minutes to go. You know, a couple minutes, 3 minutes. I can't even remember. I was so busy paying attention to the game. But I'm really proud of my team, and it's hard to say that because I always use this term. It's like kissing your sister when you lose a game and you say that it was a good experience. I mean, that doesn't mean anything in this business. You got to win the game, and you got to do the things you need to do to win the game, including stopping guys from going by to the basket. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
And for Ahmad Starks, do you have questions?
Coach, second half they had a lot of easy buckets, like you were talking about. Just talk about the impact that had.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, we typically don't do that. I mean, one of our points of emphasis this year have been to get 4 more stops a game, and we had been accomplishing that up until this point, but we really hadn't played any competition like this. But that's not an excuse. We just have to do better. You know, I thought they ran some good stuff. I thought that we missed some assignments at times, and you can't do that when you're playing a number 10 ranked team.
A couple of your runs came right after some Ben McLemore fouls when he came out. How were you guys able to capitalize on having him out of the game?
I don't think it was a personnel thing. I just thought that when you're playing a tough game like this and you get a call, you try and capitalize on it. And I think if it seemed like every time we went on a run it was when he was out, that might be the case. You know, that might be the case. But certainly, your team's got enough guys to weather a Ben McLemore being on the bench, and I just thought our guys just didn't give up, and they knew how important this was, so they just kept grinding. That's what we call it. We just keep grinding and trying to get stops and then capitalize on the stops.
What was your plan with that against Withy? Seemed like you tried to pull him out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's our usual offense. I mean, the difference that our offense is versus most offenses is that when we have a skilled center, we like to bring them outside and create those kind of matchups. So it's not like we were trying to change anything because of Withy. I mean, what we wanted to change was not driving in there and letting them block shots. How many blocks did he end up with? 3. So I feel pretty good since he had like 20 the last game. So we didn't want to just take it in there and let him tee off on us. But our usual offense is to bring our center high and let him kind of be more of a playmaker.
Coach, how good is Kansas in your mind? I know it's early in the year.
Who's that? Oh, sorry, I couldn't see it back there. Well, it's early. You're right. But when I look at, I look at their team and I compare it to what I've seen only on television, they look pretty darn good. But this is the first highly ranked team that we've played. Certainly, they're a top 10 team. I mean, can they go higher? I'm sure they can. I mean, you got some good senior leadership to go along with McLemore, and I think the sky's the limit for this program. And I don't want to put the whammy on you because we played a semi-close game, but they look pretty good to me.
We were able to get their guards in foul trouble. You were able to get their guards in foul trouble, and I think the 4th foul's on both Elijah and McLemore when you posted them up. Was that something you're consciously doing, or just part of your offense?
That is part of our offense as well. I mean, we just try and take advantage of certain mismatches when we see them, and we wanted to put some pressure on them, and it's hard to put pressure on guys who are so good. I mean, you got 1 through 7, 8 really can play anywhere. I mean, so we have to find ways to get guys in foul trouble. But then what goes along with that, we have to make foul shots too.
Coach, when you're an opposing coach coming to play a team like this, where can you find the weak spots? When you scout, you talked about
Yeah.
Where do you find that when you're scouting?
It's hard. It's hard because it has not been a huge body of work. You know, they've only lost one game, and that game was against Michigan State, and it was early, and it was, you know, neutral site. You just, at this early stage, you really focus on, at least I do, I don't know about other coaches, but we focused on our own team mostly this week and wanted to work on some things that we thought we're going to need down the road. We didn't do too much different game planning for these guys because we wanted to really see how we measured up against them. You know, we typically switch our defenses, so we did that. I think we played a little bit more zone early than we normally would. But we didn't try and sort of, okay, you know, let's take Jeff Withey out of the game. We didn't try and do that. We just wanted to see how we stacked up against them.
I just wonder if they had any weaknesses.
Not that I mean, you know, we knew to foul Withey at the end because we were hoping he'd miss a foul shot. But no offense to the kid, but that's just looking at the stats. But when you look at the stat sheet, we didn't want them to do what they did, beat us on blow-bys to the basket. We wanted them to beat us on outside shots.
Ahmad, what was your mind state coming into this game, and did you see anything in Kansas defensively that you thought you could expose to have the kind of game you did?
The only thing about their defense is, well, one, put pressure on those guards. You know, those are good guys. So you want to tire them out, try to get them in foul trouble. But like Coach said, we were running our normal offense, and we were, you know, we saw that we could bring Withey a little higher up away from the basket. So we tried to exploit that a little more.
Ahmad, towards the end of the first half, it seemed like Kansas started to press a little bit, and they wound up bringing in a player, Evan Manning. They barely played at all this year. Did you feel that they were pressing? Did you feel
Oh,
like
yeah. Right when they did it, they were denying me the ball right away. But, you know, it's kind of tough to do. Like, I'm a quick player, so if we get the ball to a 4, then I can just get the ball on the run and just go. So it's kind of tough to kind of press us, but they did a good job.
Did you feel like they were tight at the end of that first half? Like kind of searching for answers a little bit?
A little bit. You know, they were bringing in guys that we probably barely scouted a little bit. So they were bringing. So my job was just to pressure them and try to make it difficult for them bringing the ball up at the end of the half.
There's been a couple of guards that have had really big games against them this year. You're another one in that line. Is it something on tape you saw that you think, hey, if I can get loose from 3, can have a big night?
Not necessarily. Those guys are big. You know, when I was actually in layup line, I'm looking at their guards and I'm just like, oh. Not in awe, but because, I mean, I'm ready to play, but they're like 6'4", 6'5", big athletic guards. They're good. So you just look forward to the challenge and you just go attack them.
Craig, you made a real effort to upgrade your schedule this year. You've already played some tough teams. I mean, can you see your guys getting better and better? How encouraged are you?
Absolutely. You know, we're at a interesting point in our development. I have to take a game like this and make them somehow feel positive about it, which they can't do right away because right now they're not happy. But I feel like I have a very good team, and I feel like they can play now. They can play, I've always felt they could play with a team like a Kansas. Now they're going to start thinking that, I hope. I mean, that's something that we have to work on for moving forward, because when you take over a program that was in the doldrums like this, you have to change the entire culture, including the thought process that you're not supposed to win games like this or be in games like this. That's what we're spending our time mostly on. It's above the neck. I mean, these guys are hard workers. I mean, you see our practices, these guys just go through stuff so hard. And mind you, we played this game without our starting center. You know, you guys know that, but you know, it just hit me while I'm sitting here explaining it to you. We played this game without our starting center, who is a pretty good player. So I'm hoping that the silver lining here is that these guys start to believe that they're as good as our staff believes they are, and which is part of the reason why I upgraded the schedule. You know, when we were setting all this up, we thought we'd have Jared Cunningham too. He's in the NBA, and Angus Brandt is on the shelf, and you know, we're down 3 with a couple minutes to go against Kansas, ranked 10th in the country.
Take one more question.
Ahmad, what kind of positives can you pull out of this? I mean, he's saying it's a little difficult, but did you see things?
Definitely. I mean, like you said, we missed 9 free throws and we lost by 6. So just the toughness that our team brings, if we bring that night in and night out, limit a couple blow-bys, and we're right in there with a top team in the country. So we feel like we bring this effort for the most part in all our other games, we'll be able to compete for the top of our league and so on and so forth.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.